Into the evidence room. February 23rd. Evidence room, Sector 3. It's quiet. The investigation must be over here. So this is the evidence room? It really is kind of like a graveyard. Graveyards are supposed to have grass and trees. This feels more like a morgue. Nice try, Mr. Wright. You can't scare me. Eek!
Whoa!
Sorry, I thought you were a ghost.
I wouldn't recommend going around smacking ghosts on the head, pal. So is it true what I heard?
Righto, please. Do I look like a selfish man?
Heck, if anyone asks me, sir, can I borrow $50? I get the $50, no problem.
So go ahead. Investigate that room to your heart's desire. Knock yourself out. Yeah, it's true.
So, secret police camp? Will loan anyone $50? Even me?
Oh, so that's what you were talking about.
Actually, I was put in charge of the investigation for today.
Just for today? Boss for a day.
But guess what? You got permission from the chief, and now you're a boss for the day.
Gee, thanks.
First of all, you want to have this.
Evidence room floor plans. Scene of the stabbing of a detective at the police department. Whoops. There we go. Yep, it's a corner. What's up, Detective Gumshoe? You're boss for the day?
That's right, it's an honor. After all, the murder took place right here in the police department.
But if you're the boss, why are you all alone? Where are your underlings? Hold on a sec, something's printing in the background.
They're using yesterday's findings to prepare for tomorrow's trial.
In other words, you got kicked out of the investigation. Again.
I'm adamant, though. I'm gonna take control and put this case to rest. In my own evidence locker, pal.
You have a locker in here too, Detective Gumshoe?
Of course. I'm a detective after all. They gave me a locker that only I can open, pal.
Only you can open?
I'll always leave Mr. Edgewood no matter what happens.
So, Mr. Edgeworth is with the inquiry committee route now, right?
They're trying to figure out who's responsible for the mess up in court today.
I see.
This is what you call fate. Mr. Edgewood just can't get away from that case.
That case?
Yeah, that case. The SO9 incident, of course. That was the beginning of the end for Mr. Edgeworth.
Maybe we can get him to tell us more about the case.
This place is more high-tech than you might think. Every locker is fixed so that only one detective can open it.
Using their ID card?
Well, that's the thing, pal. ID cards can be lost. Wow, my third constant's entering the force already.
That sounds like a lot.
Yeah, but I can't lose my own right hand.
Right hand? Oh, you mean your fingerprint.
Exactly, pal. The lock for each locker is coded with a fingerprint. But the only locker we can open is our own.
Hey, that's a photo of a character I recognize. That's not yet in this game. Funny, these are like normal lockers.
These are the latest model. There's a trick to the handles, see?
The handles?
On the other side of the handles is a sensor. And if the wrong person touches it, zap! You get a shock! If that's what happened, my hand would be black and smoking every day. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks.
Evidence locker. Only assigned detective prints can unlock it. Indicator lamp lights up when it's open. So Detective Gumshoe, can you tell us more about the SL9 incident?
After Goodman's note, that switchblade knife. I bet Edgeworth was the most surprised of anyone.
Because of the SL9 connection?
That was Mr. Edgeworth's first big case, you know, 2 years ago. That was the first time the world knew Edgeworth was a man to be feared.
But why would evidence from that case turn up now?
I guess it's not over, pal. Maybe there are some loose ends left on that case?
Just take a look at this. This is the ID card record of the people who came in here on the day of the stabbing.
Ah, I heard the rumors. So it was Goodman who came in here at the time of the murder. Whoa!
What is it?
That second number.
It's not your ID number, is it, Detective Gumshoe?
Mr. Edgeworth.
What?
The second number on this list belongs to Mr. Edgeworth.
What? ID card record updated in the court record. How would Edgeworth have come to the evidence room?
Now that was a bloody and violent case.
Violent, so it was a murder?
A serial killing.
A serial killing? Maybe I don't want to get involved in this after all.
But the killer made a mistake and Mr. Edgeworth built his case around that to nab him.
And this was 2 years ago?
That put Mr. Edgeworth right in the spotlight and started the rumor mill.
Rumors about forged evidence?
It was supposed to be all cleaned up with the transferal the other day. It was the last job he ever did. Detective Goodman, that is.
Oh? What do you mean?
Detective Goodman was the detective in charge of the SL9 incident, see?
So, that switchblade knife. The victim took the knife out of the evidence locker himself? Wow, look at this big pile of junk in the corner. That looks like a car door. There's a pair of handcuffs attached to the frame. Maybe the guy they caught was some sort of escape artist and he got away. Hey, that's one of those human profiles for range testing. He's been shot square in the forehead. Better him than us. Hey, I recognize these. Some sort of bulky equipment is gathering dust here. What a sorry-looking fishing pole that is.
Ah, that's my personal pole. Never did get around to using it.
Wait, I've seen that somewhere before. The metal detector.
Right, pal, that's that metal detector. The one that led to the solving of that case out on Gold Lake, remember?
Alright, wow, that feels like it was ages ago. And, I don't think I've seen this one before.
Oh, that's a bug sweeper. I'm sure it'll come in handy in solving some case sooner or later.
Foreshadowing. A cheap-looking box?
Can't judge a person or a machine by the cover, you gotta look at their heart.
Wait, hold on. There's something sticking out of here. Looks like a shirt. Guess it must be evidence for some case. Detective Gumshoe put this here.
There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of slob. I'm not responsible for the evidence here, that's it. I bet that evidence locker was opened recently.
How do you know?
If you leave things hanging out like that, the evidence gets dirty or ripped. The guy checks on that kind of stuff and notify the detective responsible. How many times have I had him breathing down my neck about some silly evidence?
I don't think Detective Gumshoe leaves evidence hanging out a lot, too. But he doesn't tuck in his shirt under that trench coat either.
If you're gonna talk behind someone's back, don't do it right in front of them, pal.
Ooh, a bloody handprint. What's this? Blood. It's a little worn, but there's definitely a handprint there. Looks like someone tried to wipe it off. Mr. Wright! What if there are other bloodstains left in the room? We should use their testing fluid to check it out. But first, other stuff. Wow, someone must have broken something big to make all these pieces. Detective Gumshoe, perhaps?
There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of hooligan. That's apparently from the case.
The case?
The SL9 incident, pal. See the sticker on one of the pieces there?
Another piece of SL9 evidence. Take a closer look. I don't know what shape these pieces were in before whatever it was broke. You want to try to put it back together?
Good luck, pal. That's no job for amateurs. Well, I spent a good 3 hours on that before I had to give up.
That's why I always carry around a tube of glue. Well, this piece looks like the bottom. Let's try putting the rest in place.
Oops. Ah. Wrong click.
Nope, that one's not it. Maybe it's this one? Ah, that one. Huh? Well, I think we did it, but some of the pieces are missing.
Yeah, I got that far 2 in 2 minutes myself. Problem is finishing it.
Were some of the pieces stolen? I bet they were missing to begin with.
Still, doesn't look like the most stable kind of jar.
I kind of understand how it got broken. Unstable jar added to the core record. Jar pieced back together from fragments found at the crime scene. A piece is missing. Ah, paint. What is a saw and paint doing here?
Since the dawn of time, true art has always been a war against oppression.
True art? Notice that there's blue and yellow paint here. Perhaps we're witnessing the birthplace of the Blue Badger?
Well, might say this is my studio.
Here, in the evidence room? Ooh, a glove. Someone left the glove here, but only one. Detective Gumshoe, maybe?
There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of absent-minded detective. That's evidence from the case, you know.
I mean, SL9 does have a tag on it. Tagged evidence from the SL9 incident. Extremely thin rubber glove. Look, this one's open, and the red indicator light above the door is lit.
That lock is coated with Detective Goodman's fingerprint.
Detective Goodman's locker. Are you sure it's okay to leave it open like that?
Well, it'd be hard to get it to open again if we close it.
It's empty. They must have taken the contents elsewhere.
Alright, luminol time. There it is. Oops.
There. Nope. Present. No. There we go. Examine. How do I spray again? There it is. Spray. Red. Ooh, blood. That must have been one massive pool of blood. Never seen anything like it. I'm not a professional. What's your opinion, detective?
Pale blue blood. Maybe Detective Goodman was actually an alien?
This proved that something really happened in front of this locker. I'll make a note of it on the floor plans.
Hey, if you didn't want my opinion, you shouldn't have asked.
I knew it! This is someone's right handprint!
What? What's the matter?
What's the matter, detective?
This locker. It's mine!
It's yours?
Please! You have to help me. When they come to take me away. Promise to testify that I wouldn't harm a fly! Do that for me, won't you, pals?
This is an important clue. I'll jot it on the floor plans.
I'm counting on you guys. Believe me, you can trust the you can't trust the police.
You are the police. You're a detective. Ooh, another bloodstain. Why am I getting a reaction here? There's no reason for the murderer to touch this spot if he fled out the door. This just might be something significant.
Hey, that's some pretty amazing stuff you got there, pal.
What, this? It's called luminol testing fluid.
Where'd you get your hands on that?
Huh?
I'd like to get some too. I'll just borrow $50 from the chief.
Where do you get this, Emma? I always buy it by mail order. Well, I better jot this down on the floor plans.
Hey, pal, look at the time.
Was there something you need to be going to?
Just that Mr. Edgeworth Inquiry Committee should be running out soon. Go give them my report for the day.
Hey, that's a restaurant flyer.
Might help, you know.
Report? You mean the note written on the back of that flyer? What is this, nothing but no problems?
Hey, it's Mr. Edgeworth we're talking about. I'm sure he can use a report like this. I believe in him.
I don't know, the last guy who tried to give him an unrelated report didn't go well. Who needs enemies when you got friends like Detective Gumshoe?
I'm off, pal. Later!
I should probably see what Edgeworth has to say, too. Oh, now that we figured that out. No, I can't spray. Oh wait, I have to examine first. Nope, nothing to spray here. Damn it. There we go. Oh, hello. Why is there a blood stain there? Ah, we got a reaction. There's clearly blood around the spines here. This sure was pretty messy. Someone must have tripped over something. And planted their head right in these spines. Ouch. I think that might be more painful than being murdered. Speaking of which, is there any other blood on the underground parking lot? Huh, there was. This one must be from when Lana... No, my sister isn't the murderer! But she did call you, didn't she? At the time of the crime? And her right hand is bandaged. Hey, just whose side are you on? This has nothing to do with taking sides. So this means that Lana's hand had blood on it. It just keeps getting worse. February 23rd, High Prosecutor's Office, Room 1202.
Ah, yes, my apologies.
Oh, it's you.
Have we met somewhere?
You're the lawyer that gave the affidavit. The bellboy.
Mr. Edgeworth, I beg your leave. So long!
Is Edgeworth here? There, standing by the window. A teacup in his hand.
Right.
He has a hotel bring him tea service? Mr. Edgeworth, you're back from the district prosecutor's office inquiry.
I am. By the way,
Detective Gumshoe was looking for you.
Ah, yes, he brought me the latest information, it seems.
Really? Was it helpful?
Apparently, a new French restaurant is opening near here. I think he was trying to console me somehow.
The real info's on the other side, Edgeworth. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I think this whole thing is really taking a toll on him. Alright, first, spray the office for blood. Oh, we got something. Looks like some blood is dripped down here. Judging by the amount, my guess it's from a nosebleed. A nosebleed, Maybe in his wrath, Mr. Edgeworth slapped someone for their incompetence. Why does Detective Gumshoe's face come to mind? Hello, Edgeworth. As you know, that I am a lawyer. So, how did the inquiry committee go?
Actually, they decided to treat this not as a case of concealing evidence, but as a communications error during the investigation.
Concealing evidence?
Yes, apparently there are some who believe that I concealed evidence. They gave me a warning. You were lucky this time, again.
Again?
I've heard them say that so many times. Ever since that case 2 years ago.
Are you okay for the trial tomorrow?
Well, I'm still the presiding prosecuting attorney. However,
something happened?
They gave control of the investigation over to the police department.
The police department?
Yes, any further investigation for this case will be directed by the Chief of Police Gant. I can do nothing but wait for his results.
I see.
Why, I ask you? Why? All along, I've done only what I believe is right. I have nothing to be ashamed of. But still...
Wow, I never seen him this out of sorts. Oh, right. I better check this now.
As I was saying, What's this? A record of ID card usage?
Edgeworth, you went to the evidence room that day, didn't you? Just before the incident occurred, no less.
Yes, that's true.
Why, Mr. Edgeworth?
Please don't look at me like that. I was asked to go, by Chief Gant no less.
The chief of police?
He wanted evidence for a case that wrapped up half a year ago. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office.
But it was solved, right? It would have to be if the evidence was already filed.
The chief is never one to explain himself. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here.
Hey, that's the screwdriver from the Mia Fey case. The red-white case. Whatever you want to call it. Can I ask what kind of case it was?
I can't say. It really has nothing to do with the current case.
Now I'm curious about this other case. I better make a note of it. Unrelated evidence. Screwdriver added to court record. Or maybe just shares the same model. Evidence from the past case of Edgeworth's. Brought back to his office by Gant's request.
Stubborn as always. I told you this has nothing to do with the current case. I know you. You probably got a hold of some information already, right?
It all has to do with that case you were on. The SL9 incident. And some dark suspicion you were wrapped up in.
You are the man who revived the worst memory of my life. I figured I'd be telling you about this sooner or later.
He must be talking about his father's murder in that elevator. Okay, Edgeworth. Why don't you tell me about it? Tell me the truth.
The SL9 incident was a heinous serial killing case. The head of the investigation was a deputy chief of police at the time, Damon Gant.
That wacky old coot was involved in the case 2 years ago, too, then.
He was a top officer, and it was my first time working with him. I was nervous.
I don't know, you get nervous too, Mr. Edgeworth? I know, want to know is why was the deputy chief of police on the investigation?
In truth, I used slightly more extreme methods than normal. We were dealing with a vicious murderer. If I let him go, the blood would be on my hands. We won our guilty verdict and the killer was executed.
Wait, you didn't...
Of course not. I didn't touch the evidence. Yes, I would do anything in my power to win a trial. However, I do have a code and I follow it faithfully. By the way, Emma, the chief prosecutor wanted to know something.
My sister? What?
If you were still studying forensic science.
Huh? Yes, of course. Why, just today, Mr. Wright and I were using this.
Luminol testing fluid, hmm? Well then, you might have used for this.
Aluminum powder for taking fingerprints.
It's been chemically treated for better adhesion.
For me? Are you sure? We are the enemy, you know.
I've no say in today's investigation. Do as you will.
Edgeworth, I'm really...
No need to thank me. Here, take your powder and these fingerprint files for everyone involved.
Thanks. How about giving these to Detective Gumshoe as well? Fingerprinting sent and fingerprint file received. Recovers fingerprints from handprints for comparison with fingerprint file. Well, let's get going. One last investigation. Right. I just seem to remember seeing a suspicious handprint somewhere. Anything to say with the fingerprinting set, you do not. February 23rd, Evidence Room, Sector 3. Our investigation turned up a suspicious handprint. Here, and there's blood on the detective's evidence locker. Let's use the secret weapon we just borrowed. Right, let's get started. First, choose a finger. A finger? Each finger leaves behind a slightly different imprint. Let's choose a finger that'll have the left behind the clearest print. I really can't tell the difference at a glance. You're procrastinating and choose a finger. Here. Thumb. Okay, now it's time to check for prints. Let me show you how it's done. Emma's starting to get that sparkle in her eyes. First, we sprinkle the aluminum powder around. Huh? How do you do that? With Enter, see? This is where you would use the DS's touchscreen feature to deliberately spray on the aluminum powder. If we were on the DS. Looks like it did the trick. The aluminum powder adheres completely to the print. Once the powder is well spread, just blow away the excess. Huh? How do I do that? With E. Exciting, I know. This is where you would use the mic function of the Nintendo DS. If we were using it. Imagine you're blowing out the candles on a birthday cake. See? Wow, that looks like fun. One takes some getting used to, though. It's fine. It won't go up your nose or anything. You just pour the powder on thick and blow away the extra. First, the basics of fingerprinting, Mr. Wright. Guess I better give it a try. Aha, you did it! You found one! But this looks nothing like a fingerprint. Now that you mention it, I guess it doesn't. What does it mean? I think it means we're out of luck. Out of luck? The person who left his handprint must have worn gloves. Don't tell me we've been wasting our time here. Calm down. That's just the way it goes sometimes with scientific investigations. But it does seem a shame. While we're at it, why don't we look for the other prints? Other prints? Looking at the locker door again closely. Seems like there are fingerprints outside the bloody handprint as well. Let's see if we can find a clear print. Fingerprint outside of the blood. Are you serious? Is that not clear enough? There we go. Yay! A print so clear it's dazzling. Dazzling? Anyway, this print took a lot of effort to find. Let's match it up right away. So we're not done yet? This is quite a process. Well, there's no point in finding a fingerprint and not knowing who the owner is, right? Yes, she's right. Look at the fingerprint data we got from Mr. Edgeworth. And point out the person who you think left these prints. Huh? How am I supposed to know who it was? I can make a pretty good guess. The bloody handprint and the fingerprints are in different places, right? That means that the prints probably don't have anything to do with our case. So whose fingerprints would we most likely find on this evidence locker? Probably Detective Gumshoe, since this is his locker. Aha! So these prints belong to Detective Gumshoe. Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? You gave me this so what look. I guess it's probably because I was thinking so what. Okay, so we came up with nothing this time, but there's always next time. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss. You gotta roll with the punches, Mr. Wright. Thanks for the sympathy. Wait, if I remember correctly, there was one other handprint in this room. Let's check it out. Oops, not that. This is where we got a luminol fluid reaction, right? Right! There's a handprint here! Okay, wanna try using this? There go our eyes sparkling again. Okay, let's check for prints. That's the spirit. Oh, but I had to warn you about something first. What? The area with the blood was wiped away, right? We only ended up finding it using chemical means. Any prints in that area will have been wiped away too. Oh, right. So that means no prints. Would you say the probability hypothesis is high? Don't ask me. Anyway, we must try to find prints that weren't wiped away. Prints other than the ones left by the bloody hands. Maybe where the index finger would be. There we go. Oh, hey. Hey, these fingerprints, Who's hiding? Who's? Is someone I know? It's Officer Marshall. Huh? Officer Jake Marshall? Marshall's fingerprints had the court record. Found on a bloody handprint left in the evidence room. The print had been wiped. That's gotta be a coincidence. He's not involved in the crime. Emma? This is decidedly different from Detective Gumshoe's prints. A luminol reaction. The blood and the fingerprints are in the same place. Oh. Oh. So, we have Jake Marshall's fingerprints on a white bloodstain. But why would Officer Marshall... Looks like our investigation is finally turning up some results. I guess this is what you'd call a decisive evidence. I don't believe it. To be continued.